Whether you believe in astrology or not, you almost certainly know your zodiac sign. But what you might not know is that 4,000 years ago, in ancient Babylon, words like Aries, Gemini, and Cancer were linguistic time capsules, hiding bloody and terrifying stories from Babylonian and Greek mythology. These are the surprising origins behind the 12 signs of the zodiac, though some argue there should be 13, including the controversial constellation of Fucus. And once you know them, you'll never look at your horoscope the same way again. Let's start with the word itself. Zodiac comes from the ancient Greek word zodiakos kyklos, which literally means circle of little animals. And that is exactly what the original system was. 11 animal or creature signs were arranged in a circle across the sky. Libra, the scales, was not even part of the Greek zodiac. To the Greeks, it was just the claws of Scorpio. The Greeks counted 11 signs, and they considered Scorpio a double constellation. But the Greeks did not invent this system. The true origin lies roughly 2,500 years ago in ancient Babylon, in what is now modern-day Iraq. Babylonian priests mapped the heavens with astonishing precision, creating the mathematical foundation for what would become Western astrology. By the 16th century BC, they had compiled the Enuma, Anu, Enlil, a staggering collection of 7,000 celestial omens inscribed on 70 cuneiform tablets. Around 1000 BCE, they produced the MUL.APIN star catalog, which tracked 17 or 18 constellations along the ecliptic, that crucial celestial pathway where the zodiac signs appear to move. Then, around 500 BCE, they made the critical leap. They divided the sky into 12 equal zones of exactly 30 degrees each, creating the zodiac as a mathematical framework. As Professor Mathieu Ossendriver of Freie Universität Berlin explains, the zodiac is not visible to the eye. Rather, the Babylonians invented a mathematical construction, which they then divided into 12 parts of 30 degrees each. Interestingly, due to the precession of the equinoxes, a slow wobble in Earth's axis, the zodiac signs have actually shifted since ancient times, which is why your sign does not align with where the sun actually was when you were born. But that is another story entirely. The Babylonians had their own names for these signs, and they are fascinatingly different. Aries was not a ram, but the hired man. Virgo was the furrow. Aquarius became the Great One. And Capricorn was the goatfish, a hybrid creature that has no real equivalent in Greek mythology. When the Greeks encountered Babylonian astronomy, particularly after Alexander the Great's conquests in the 4th century BC, they translated, adapted, and in many cases completely reinvented the mythology behind each sign. They layered their own gods, heroes, and monsters onto Babylon's mathematical grid. Those Greek myths are what we have inherited, later systematized by the astronomer Ptolemy. In his influential work, the Tetrabiblos, around 150 AD, which became the foundation of Western astrological practice. Taurus, the bull. In Babylon, this constellation was called Guana, the steer of heaven, and it connected to one of humanity's oldest stories, the Epic of Gilgamesh. The goddess Ishtar, furious that King Gilgamesh rejected her romantic advances, sent the heavenly bull down to kill him. Gilgamesh fought and defeated it. In the night sky, Gilgamesh stands as the constellation Orion, right next to Taurus, forever locked in that ancient battle. But the Greeks told a completely different story. To them, Taurus was Zeus himself, the king of the gods, who transformed into a magnificent white bull to seduce and abduct Europa, a Phoenician princess. He carried her across the sea to Crete, where their son Minos would become king and build the great palace at Knossos. The constellation's brightest star, Aldebaran, gets its name from Arabic, meaning the follower, because it appears to chase the Pleiades star cluster across the sky. Taurus has been associated with a bull since the Chalcolithic period, possibly even the Upper Paleolithic, making it one of the oldest symbolic constellations in human history. Cancer has one of the most humiliating origin stories in all of mythology. During Heracles' battle with the nine-headed Hydra, the goddess Hera sent a giant crab called Karkanos to distract him. Heracles simply crushed it under his foot and went right back to fighting the Hydra. Hera, feeling sorry for the crab's failed effort, placed it among the stars. Interestingly, the Babylonians called this constellation Al-Elul, which means deceptive digger. No image of a crab has ever been found on Babylonian boundary stones, suggesting the crab interpretation came later. There is Scorpio, whose mythology explains something you can actually observe in the night sky. The earth goddess Gaia sent a giant scorpion to slay the hunter Orion, after he boasted that he would kill every animal on Earth. Both were placed among the stars, but on opposite sides of the sky. As the constellation Scorpius rises, Orion sets. They are never visible at the same time, separated for eternity. This may be one of the oldest Greek myths, and its origin might literally lie in the sky itself. The Sumerians knew this constellation as Gir Tab, the scorpion, over 5,000 years ago. And remember how I said Libra was once part of Scorpio? The Romans literally cut off the scorpion's claws to create a 12th constellation. The evidence is still in the star names. Zubanel-Ganubi means the southern claw, and Zubanesh-Shamali means the northern claw. Libra became associated with Astrea, the goddess of justice, making it the only zodiac sign represented by an inanimate object. Pisces has a myth that changed real-world behavior. When the monster Typhon attacked the gods, Aphrodite and her son Eros transformed into fish and tied themselves together with a ribbon so they would not be separated as they escaped through the river. The Syrians, honoring this story, refused to eat fish because they feared they might accidentally consume the gods themselves. Gemini represents the twins Castor and Pollux, born of the same mother but different fathers. Castor was mortal, fathered by a human king, while Pollux was divine, fathered by Zeus. When Castor died in battle, Pollux begged Zeus to share his immortality. Zeus granted the wish by placing them both in the sky forever. The Babylonians also saw twins here, but theirs were far more ominous. They called them Meshlamtaya and Lugalira, the one who has arisen from the underworld, and the mighty king. Both were titles of Nergal, god of plague and pestilence. The etymology alone tells a story that stretches across millennia. From Babylonian priests reading cuneiform tablets under Mesopotamian skies, to Greek poets weaving tales of gods and monsters, to a British astrologer named R.H. Naylor, who, in 1930, wrote a horoscope for Princess Margaret in the Sunday Express and accidentally launched the modern horoscope column. The first known personal horoscope, a natal chart created for a specific individual, dates to April 29, 410 BC in Babylon. Then for centuries, the practice faded from popular culture, only to resurge in the 20th century. Today, billions of people check their horoscopes, most without any idea that their sign carries the weight of 4,000 years of mythology, mathematics, and meaning. So the next time someone asks your sign, remember, you are not just reciting a word. You are invoking a story that was ancient before Rome was founded, before the Parthenon was built, before the Greeks even had a name for the circle of little animals turning slowly overhead.